everybody, and welcome to another episode of Reviews That Don't Matter with Jessica Hitt. My name is Jessica Hitt. Today we're talking about Kingsman: The Golden Circle. Now, for those of you who don't know, I love Kingsman: The Secret Service. That was my favorite movie that came out that year. Admittedly, I think I only saw about 3 films that came out that same year, but at the same time, I still really liked the movie. It was surprising. I didn't go into the movie expecting a lot, and I came out super happy with it. I've seen it several times since, and I tell people to go see it because it is really good. And it's shocking, and it's a little different, and it's got that sort of a British type of humor in a way, and it was like a new, fun take on a James Bond. But like an edgy James Bond who will make a butt sex joke. Also, what Matthew Vaughn was really inventive. I mean, he made this sort of out of this world villain character, and Valentine and his whole ruse seemed kind of real, and people would actually do it, and it's just and then the whole scene at the end of that movie, spoiler alert by the way, where all of the heads blow up and it's like fireworks kind of, who would ever think that that kind of scene would work? But it did. It totally worked. It was a great finale of that film. And so I was really, really excited when I heard that they're making a second one, and I've been excited about it all year long, and it was okay. And don't get me wrong, I really did enjoy the film, but it doesn't excite me in the same way as the first Kingsman did. It definitely tried to be bigger and better, which is, sequelitis at it again. And I do think that they did add some really great characters, especially with the Statesman. I really liked that idea. I like Channing Tatum a lot. I think he should have been in it more. I like Pedro Pascal in it, who he can't fail in my mind. Halle Berry was pretty good in it. Jeff Bridges was great. Very small role as well. And I really like Julianne Moore's villain, because it was sort of this very candy sweetheart type of villain that was also feeding you human meat. What? And that wasn't her whole plan. She wasn't doing that to the public. That was just a scene in the movie. So, by the way, this is gonna have mild spoilers, or actual just real spoilers. This is gonna be a spoiler review. So if you've not seen the movie, turn off now. For all of you who do not care about spoilers, who have seen the movie and just want to know what I thought about it, keep watching. I think what kind of disappointed me the most is that I wanted to explore the Kingsman more. I was really kind of disappointed in the fact where, it was him and Roxy and the new Arthur, and then, they show the board of the rest of the Kingsmen. It's just a whole bunch of old white guys again, who they were all, I think, killed off in the first one, weren't they? I might have gotten that wrong. It has been a little bit since I've seen the first one, but I feel like they were all killed off. Maybe not. Or at least a couple of them weren't they? I don't know. Someone's gonna have to answer that in the comments for me, please. But I don't know, get some young blood in there, get, some females, some people of color, it's all white people. And then it's just big spoiler, they pretty much kill everybody off. They kill everybody off, including Roxy, who, I know not a lot of people probably cared about her, but I was really kind of excited to explore her character more, because she did rightfully win the spot of the Kingsman in the first movie. She just got a really raw deal in the first movie and in the second one, and it's just, why don't you give us some time to actually care about the character before killing her off, especially if she's supposed to be Eggsy's best friend and confidant, and when that happened, I was like, come on, seriously, you're killing everybody off, and we are gonna just leave the Kingsman behind and go to the Statesman, which I like the Statesman a lot, but I really wanted to explore the Kingsman and kind of the inner workings of it. Maybe this should have been the third movie of a trilogy or something like that. And then we would care when all of these new Kingsmen got murdered in the first part of this movie. And I like the introduction of the Statesmen and how they're really not believing the Kingsmen exist, which I don't know why it's so far-fetched to think that there wouldn't be a counterpart to your, but of course it is America, so they probably think that they're the best and the only one of everything. I also really appreciated the fact that they were all after alcohol, named after alcohol of some sort. I think that's very accurate. They're kind of just like the Kingsman's like really a bit stuffy, and the Eggsy is fun and all that, but like the Statesmen are like the cool cousin that just comes around every once in a while and like gives you your first drink. So I do really like the Statesman. I liked exploring that. It was weird because I feel like we should have gotten a lot more of Channing Tatum. We did get a lot of Pedro Pascal. And even though I don't think that the reveal at the end was very surprising, I enjoyed what he did and brought to the table. And that's another thing. I don't think that this movie is all that surprising. Like, honestly, by killing off all of the Kingsmen, which we technically saw in the trailer, they killed Eggsy's dog that we loved in the first movie, which pissed me off. Anyway, I mean, they basically gave that away in the trailer, and I knew that that was gonna happen. I wasn't a little sure about Roxy being killed as well, because I thought they might want to develop the character, but they didn't. They just killed her off. And, you know, I don't remember where I was going with this. Oh, right, the trailer gave a lot away. Like, it really did. Like, how much better would it be if we got, like, a basic trailer that didn't give much away, and then you go into it and they kill all of the Kingsmen? Like, we wouldn't have been expecting it. And I don't know, like, frame the trailer as the Kingsman and Statement just, like, joining hands, basically, and, like, Eggsy's just going over there to help with something. Because I just think that that would have been a lot, like, more shocking and entertaining, and I like shock factor in my movies and TV shows. I like not being able to see what's going to happen next. And that's something that I could see. I saw everything coming, and it was a little frustrating. I will say the humor is still on point. I really like that. I still really like the characters in it. I just want a little bit more from the story. Okay, I will say this though, what I thought was really smart was sort of this really big cameo by Elton John, which I was not expecting. I don't think they gave that away at all in any of the trailers. I had no clue he was in it. And I like how she, like, the excuse for, like, kidnapping him was because of all of the celebrities going missing when Valentine was doing his thing. And I thought that was genius, especially because they kind of hinted at it in the very beginning when Eggsy sat down and he has those newspaper headlines above his head, and the first one was Elton John gone, and I was like, oh, it's probably because Valentine took him, right? And nope, it's because Julianne Moore's villain took him just to play songs for her in her little island. And I thought that was pretty good. It was a very large cameo. It was really a supporting role, honestly. But yeah, I did enjoy it quite a bit, not gonna lie. Also, I will say, if you were kind of dismayed in the first movie with the weird butt sex joke at the end, like it didn't fit or like it made you uncomfortable, there is a even more weird and uncomfortable sex scene in this movie that doesn't feel quite right, but it's kind of okay. Like, I personally did not care much for it, but you know, there's nothing technically wrong with it. It was still much. It was a lot. Especially the way that they filmed it, like, whoa. Oh, but one thing that was kind of funny the way that they did it was that Eggsy was in a serious relationship with the princess from the first movie that was the whole the butt sex joke. Like, they're actually dating, and she had a pretty big role in this, and I thought that was fun. Also, they showed the President of the United States being a complete terrible person, like, oh my god. But then again, like, the last president was terrible too, because his head got blown up because he agreed to Valentine's thing. So I don't know what that's saying exactly, but I very much enjoy when they dip their toe into that sort of like dark side of politics, where sometimes the people who are in charge aren't always the best. So overall, I left the theater like pretty decently happy with what I got, especially considering I did know that there the reviews weren't necessarily as high as they were in the first one, so I kind of knew that maybe it wouldn't be as fun and as new and exciting as the first one. You know, the more and more I think about it, the more it's forgettable, quite honestly. Like, at the end of the year, am I really going to be thinking too much about this? I will say, if they do want to do a third movie and make it a trilogy, I will definitely go see it. I think that there's still a lot to go with it, especially considering at the end of this, some stuff happens where it's like, I'd be really interested to see, like, what they do, especially with Eggsy, Taron, whatever his name is, Edgerton, and Channing Tatum's Agent Tequila. I would really like to see a team-up thing with them, you know? Also, I really like the way that they did bring back Colin Firth in this. I thought it was smart, especially because I wasn't necessarily too excited to hear that he was coming back, because I liked how final his death seemed in the first one, but I do think they did it in a smart way, and also in a way that really worked with the storyline, honestly. Okay, everybody, that is my review of Kingsman: The Golden Circle. If you liked this review, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what were your thoughts on the film. What are you hoping? Are you hoping there's going to be a third one? Have you seen the first one at all? Or did you just click on this video just to click on it? Which, thank you if you did. Also, subscribe. I make videos Monday through Friday. Sometimes I skip a day. Depends on what I'm watching and how much time I have that week. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys tomorrow, hopefully. Bye!